Hey guys, Sayer here. This is a video to show you how to enter into the GreenMedInfo system, a PubMed article. The goal is to basically show you how to do it, and then hopefully you'll get to the point where you can show others. So here we go to actually PubMed, and I'll show you. If we type in turmeric, for example, there's always an amazing study on turmeric. And let me take this one. Inhibition by curcumin of intestinal cell. Okay, so you can copy the URL like this, copy paste. You can throw it right into the parser right here. And the parser, by the way, is under contributors, and there it is, bam, on the bottom right. So you can either type in the URL or paste it in, or just put in the PMID number. So that's another option. So if you're collecting abstracts or we're having people collect them, you can have them just have the number, and that would be sufficient. So what's happened is it's pulled from Medline the information in the fields below, you'll see. So here you'll see it pulled this, which is like the bibliographic citation, and the article link, title, affiliation, and the abstract text. So that's all automatic. So that's the great part of this parser, the publication date. It's done technically through a language called XML, and it can be automated, on a greater level than this. But what we're wanting to do is to associate this abstract with our database sections. So in this case, we don't have any problematic actions, right, that would be associated with it. If it was a vaccination or mammography, you would go down and you would select like this. And keep in mind, if you're selecting in this type of field, if you hit control, you can, I'm sorry, is it command? Yeah, command, you can check more than one thing. Okay, so that's one of the tricks that you'll need in the future, because there's no other way to do it. If you just try clicking, it'll unclick the last selection. So you hit command and that selects two. But in this case, we don't have actually anything. So yeah, there's nothing to be associated with it. And for whatever reason, it's still associating, sorry guys, with this. I'm trying to find a way to get that off. Okay, so I hit command and click it to get that off. All right, so substances. So it's an autocomplete field. So I go for curcumin, bam. And there's no toxic ingredient. That would be like, say, they're testing an animal, giving it like, glyphosate, and then that would be the substance that would be associated. But in this study, there's no, I don't believe any toxic chemicals being tested. By the way, I want to show you on the top here, I think by default it's selected for article, yes. So if there was an example of an article, which we'll show you later, that there's a toxic chemical as well, hit command, if it now associated with two different types. But in this case, it's just article, so we don't have to worry about that. And this is something you'll see later, which is the free article link. So sometimes PubMed gives free access or open access. In that case, we'd select free article. You throw in the free article link, title, and the URL. And that's something I'll show you in a bit. For the link title, we actually just use the regular citation, like the journal name and then the date. I'm jumping ahead though, sorry guys. Let me go back down. Remember, this is our first article. So let's take a look. I would associate a disease with this, meaning something that curcumin actually helps to mitigate, prevent, cure, treat. And in this study, let's look at it real quick. It shows inhibition of EV71. Okay, so it's a virus. So technically, we do have probably a section on GreenMedInfo for RNA viruses. I'm not certain, but let's just see. I'm going to copy paste if we have anything in the database on this particular virus. I don't know that we do. Let me put it in there. Nothing there. How about RNA virus? Probably. Let me see. Yeah. I'm just going to throw that in. It's a generic category. In the future, we would add another node for the specific subtype of that RNA virus, but I will show you that later. So technically, this is then an antiviral study. So under pharmacological actions, you want to select antiviral. It gets a little confusing sometimes because there's usually several selections, actually. Yeah, antiviral agent actually is the right one. Now let me show you something. If I go to antiviral, see how it's lowercase? Generally, lowercase pharmacological actions are not as valid. They were added by accident I think, through a keyword function. So capitalized usually indicates this was the original type. So if there's ever a question or a duplication, go with the capitalized version. Okay, so antiviral capital. Oh, where is it? Yeah, there it is. Okay, so we have those three associated. Now the type of study, in this case, it's a cell study. So that's in vitro, like that. Sex type, now if it's a study of male, female, usually human, clinical level, then we will select that. I haven't really been doing much of that, but it's something that we added a while ago and we should probably keep up with. Now for article title, here's the thing, is that sometimes I'll just copy paste the exact article. But this is confusing anyway, because no one would really know what EV71 is. So why not just change out RNA virus so it's more, colloquial expression by curcumin in intestinal cells. Okay, here's another way to write this. How about this? Curcumin inhibits RNA virus in intestinal epithelial cells. And actually, honestly, RNA virus is so generic. What I would do is this. Is actually copy paste that guy, throw it in under RNA virus, this, and just like that. You know what I mean? There's no standard format for this, but you want to try to translate it in a more colloquial way. So curcumin inhibits, let's say, an RNA virus in intestinal epithelial cells. That's good enough for me. Detailed summary, at one point we thought we would even allow people to enter more elaborate summaries of the article, but it's really already an abstract, so it's sort of condensed down here. So at this point, actually, you have what you need to submit. So we're going to submit, and it's going to go into the database, you'll see. Now, keep in mind, here up on top, you'll see this note has been inserted. You can go and click here, and you'll see your finished work. And the cool thing is that the way we can set this up is a contributor can go publish this to our workflow without it going live, so that someone like yourself or myself can go review it and say, okay, this is good, and we're going to go ahead and throw it out there. So you can see, and then check this nifty stuff out. You have these links to the other associated sections. I want to show you one more thing, though, edit. This is for the more serious research types. Okay, and hopefully over time, whoever's entering these will get into this. And it does take a certain amount of sort of like authorization, because here, let's say you want to associate a term like viral, okay? And you can see there's different links here like that have been created over time. At one point I was looking at virally caused leukemia, and so I decided to come up with that keyword. So the keyword function is powerful because you can add a new one. You can do like curcumin RNA viruses. And so now this keyword is forever in the database. It's the first one. And in the future, if we have other RNA curcumin studies, RNA virus studies, it will now be a separate node on the site, and we could enhance that. You can keep adding studies with that. So the keyword function is very open, but it's been overused, and we don't want to stuff in keywords there that shouldn't be there. But you can see, if I go down now, you're going to have a separate keyword. Oh, wow, the keyword's not showing. I don't know why. That's very strange. It should. I'll have to have Cameron take a look. Anyway, that's the first step as far as article entry, is that hopefully give you a sense of how we enter in articles in the database.